Kerry, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ian. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure. What is going on here? I mean, in terms of the law of the land. Now, as I understand it, a non-crime hate incident is not a criminal offence.
Correct.
So what is somebody, when somebody knocks on your door and says, we're investigating a non-crime hate incident, they are essentially knocking to check your opinions?
Well, actually they do. If you know nothing about NCHIs, let me just tell you you're in good company, because the vast majority of my colleagues in criminal law, of judges and barristers, actually do not know that this thing exists, and they're quite surprised that this is going on and that I'm doing my research partially on those things. So with the NCHIs, we are, to put it very simply, in Humpty Dumpty territory. Humpty Dumpty has famously said that when I use a word, it means what I choose it to mean. And this is what has created all the problems, because people can define the meaning of hate, for example. But the crucial element here is that a non-crime is by definition not something that falls under a criminal offense. Now, you might think, why would the police invest resources on investigating or recording lawful behavior? This goes back, if I have 1 minute to give you a brief...
Please do.
It all goes back to the 1990s and the racist murder of Stephen Lawrence. Following that, the Macpherson Inquiry issued a report, and the report made wide recommendations about how police should try to tackle the problem of racism, which is, of course, a real problem.
Nothing unreasonable about that, as it's described.
One of those recommendations was the introduction of perception-based recording. I repeat, perception-based recording. And you might think, Ian, why would we talk about perception? Of course, anything is perceived to be true, even if it's true or not true. The point for the Macpherson Inquiry, and also the point that the College of Policing adopted when they issued the guidance, which created all the problems, is that the police officer should not challenge the perception of the complainant, should refrain from doing so. And you might also think, surely as a society, we have a shared understanding of what hateful means, what a hateful conduct, what hate actually means. Well, this might be the case, but the question is, can we filter out, as police forces, the claims that are outlandish, that are unreasonable? And for example, if someone, let me give you an example. If someone expects me to be on time, so would it be offensive? Would it be something which is hateful? Now, this actually has been made, this claim has been made alongside other things that are seen as racist. So if I perceive it as hateful and I go and report that Ian Collins expected me to be on time on his show, and the police should have to record it as an NCHI because it was perceived.
So the perception, and we've seen this kind of, this sort of language or interpretation of life manifest in the workplace, for example. You know, if you think you've been bullied, then you have been bullied. It's in that ballpark, right?
Yes. So the main message to the police officers was to refrain from challenging the victim. And in the word victim, there's a problem because, of course, it's a complainant, surely. But the Macpherson Inquiry said, and the College of Policing adopted that recommendation, that we should be referring to them as victims.
Right.
Now, following the Court of Appeal judgment in Miller versus College of Policing 2022, that was actually criticized, and the College of Policing changed that. But still, last Sunday, we heard that when the two Essex police officers went to your colleague's door and knocked at her door, they referred to the complainant as a victim.
Correct.
And as Allison reports, they insisted on calling the complainant a victim, which of course preempts and predetermines the outcome of a legal process, which has not been even started at that point.
Correct.
It is quite problematic from a political point of view and also from a legal point of view.
Yeah. So we have this curious conundrum, which apparently, we're told sort of came around because somebody, is hoping that, I suppose, you catch a bigger fish at some point if you follow enough leads, then that the hate crime incident may in fact be something bigger going on. Is that the thinking?
Yes, precisely. The rationale of the College of Policing was to record NCHIs so that they capture tensions in the community and avoid the escalation of harm. The question for all of us in society and in the law is whether the cure is worse than the disease. Yeah. And I think the reality shows that the cure, the way the College of Policing understands to be the cure, is much worse than the
yes, I think so. And some of the examples we've seen, I mean, it's not as if every time we hear one of these stories that we discover somebody's written something, it's a little bit spicy, maybe just erring on the side of something a bit racist or a bit, homophobic, whatever. It's not as if, and then they discover, bingo, oh, look, we checked his hard drive. It turns out he's Eugene Terre Blanche. He's the world's worst racist or the world's worst whatever. If we saw that every week, I think we would go, wow, these, hate crime, non-crime hate incidents, they're really good. They're working brilliantly. But that isn't happening, and in fact, time and time again, we see somebody who put, they redrew, the pride flag or something on Facebook, which I think is a real story, and somebody got upset about it, and the officers even said that, you posted something that could upset someone. I mean, that should not be taken seriously when surely a police officer says that. That's bananas.
Yes. Well, there's this famous saying that the road to hell is full of good intentions, right? Yeah. And regardless of the intentions of the Macpherson report and the College of Policing, the reality shows that there is a problem with freedom of expression and with the
every day,
with the chilling effect of NCHIs and the fact that people feel reluctant to go on and engage in public discussions on issues which are controversial. And again, for example, recently, as you know better than me, the number of sexes and genders has been quite a topic, right? Whether they are 2 or 98. And of course, I'm not here to tell you how many genders there are. I have the Article 10 hat on as a lawyer to say that people have the right to express their views. Yep. Way that is, well, even offensive, even if it is offensive. Correct. The legal right to do.
Absolutely spot on. There's 5,760 genders, by the way, Kiri, just so you know. It's a bit of information I picked up along the way. Great to have you on with us, sir. Really appreciate that. Senior lecturer in law, Kyriakos Kotsoglou, with us.